All right, we're wrapping up our article on Jupiter, and the article is, what is it like inside Jupiter? All right, what happens under that much? It turns out some pretty crazy things under that kind of immense pressure. Jupiter is made up entirely, almost entirely, of hydrogen. When you think of hydrogen, you probably think of common, colorless, odorless, but under the of pounds of pressure found inside Jupiter, the hydrogen gas is so much that it actually changes into a liquid. Even deeper, the pressure is so great that the liquid acts like a metal. Scientists call it liquid metallic hydrogen. All right, so even though, remember we said all of our outer planets are made of gases, but this one, the pressure, even though it is made of a gas, it's made of hydrogen, it's under so much pressure, the hydrogen acts like a liquid or like a solid. All right, so we're going to go to our, oh, we missed a page. Forgot this one has 4 pages. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So this is the largest ocean. At least we're pretty sure of what is going on inside of Jupiter. The conditions on Jupiter are so extreme that they can't really be here on. Scientists have been trying for years to create liquid metallic hydrogen, but is nearly to mimic the interior of Jupiter and Earth for more than a couple millionths of a second. All right, anything in there that we think we really need to highlight? Maybe they've been trying to do it. What have they been trying to do? Create Jupiter, a similar interior of Jupiter, but they can only do it for a little bit of time. All right, we have another title, the largest ocean in the solar system. We have another photograph. It's a big red spot. It says Jupiter's Great Red Spot. It's a caption. Is a hurricane-like storm that has been raging on the planet's gaseous exterior for hundreds of years. But what's happening inside may just be even crazier than that. Remember we said if there's a caption or a photograph or a diagram, usually that's where they try to get a lot of their questions from. So it's really important that you stop and think. Despite how hard it is to create these conditions here on Jupiter, is so massive that it has an entire ocean of liquid metallic hydrogen deep underneath its cloudy exterior. Ooh, that's what they mean by ocean. Incredibly, if scientists are right, it would be the largest ocean in our solar... Ooh, what did they find? The largest ocean made of hydrogen underneath the storms. An entire ocean is something we can barely produce here on. Turns out pretty crazy things happen when something is surrounded by the weight of 130,000 cars in every direction. All right, so we're going to pause here and look at our question. And our question was, so we talked a little bit about how gravity might be different on the planets, especially if you compare Earth to Jupiter. Now, reading question for today is, I can read, comprehend, and connect to literature. Explain, ooh, that's our verb, how the author helps the reader understand the gravity on Jupiter at the beginning. So they want us to focus on the very first part of the passage. All right, so what's our verb? What do they want us to do? Explain. What are we explaining? How they help us understand gravity. on Jupiter. And this time, it doesn't ask any other questions. We just need one idea, which means we can answer this in one, maybe two sentences. All right, so to wrap us up for today, we're going to go back to our beginning and see if we can get some ideas here. I'm going to reread the first two paragraphs because that's where it told me to look, the beginning. If you have ever spent time under the bottom of a deep end of a pool, you probably noticed that everything around you seems heavier. Your ears might have heard of it, and you might have felt your goggles press hard against your face. This is because the deeper you go, the more water there is on top of you. All that pressure against you, and you experience more pressure. If you notice this effect in a relatively shallow swimming pool, imagine how much pressure you would feel at the bottom of the deepest part of the ocean. At the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, it would feel as if it were over 16,000 pounds of force pressing on every square inch of your body. That's like having the weight of 3 cars pressing against every square inch of your body. Obviously, no human could survive under such conditions. All right, so how do they help us understand? What did he talk about in this first paragraph? And why did that help us understand? Then I want you to look at the second paragraph. What did he do here? Or she, it might be a she author, we don't know. What did they compare the pressure to help us understand? All right, so I think you can probably write 2 nice sentences. One maybe explaining the first paragraph, and then 2 maybe giving a little more detail about the comparison that the author made to help us understand. All right, that's it for Jupiter. I'm going to go ahead and start our video on the next one. It'll be for Saturn.